Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with your free pick in the Tennessee versus Alabama college football matchup on Saturday, October 19th, 2024. It's my favorite day of the week during my favorite time of the year. It's College Football Saturday. If you like all the free picks we do at Pickdawgz, you'll love our premium picks, our best bets. Just go to Pickdawgz.com, click on the premium picks tab. I've also got a link directly below in the description. Prices start at $15, but you can use the discount code PICK and take 15% off all of your orders. We also have picks meant for people that make really big bets, people looking for a VIP style experience. These are our most expensive premium packages, but if you're interested, text the number you see on the screen. But let's head to Rocky Top to Knoxville, Tennessee, where the Volunteers taking on Alabama. This is a good old-fashioned SEC rivalry game, and how do you differentiate a rivalry game from just a game between good teams or anything like that? A rivalry exists when two teams from in the same conference from separate divisions play each other every single year. So like Alabama played Georgia this year, with Alabama being in the West and Georgia being in the SEC East, but they don't play every single year. But Tennessee and Alabama, with Tennessee in the East and Alabama in the West, they play every single year. So that is how rivalries are determined, or the games that are considered rivalries. Of course, Georgia-Alabama is a great matchup, and we wish we would see it more often. And, we see it in the championship game, it seems, recently a lot. But as far as the regular season, they don't play every year. But Tennessee and Bama do play every year. And these teams, well, you kind of can toss the record book out the window. And we've seen some very competitive games between these two, even though Alabama has dominated in recent years. But 2 years ago, the last time they played in Knoxville, it was the Vols, 9.5-point dogs, beating Alabama outright 52-49. Last year in Tuscaloosa, it was the Tide getting revenge, 34-20. Now, like I said, the Tide have dominated this series in recent years, but the thing is, I would expect Tennessee to leave it all out on the table in this one. The Vols coming off of a narrow win in overtime against Florida last week. Alabama holding on for dear life against South Carolina 27-25 at home. That was following up on that Vandy loss on the road. So this Alabama team looks less than convincing. I understand they got that win over Georgia, and it was an exciting game and everything. But the reality of that game, too, was that the Alabama pass defense was absolutely shredded after holding a gigantic lead in that game. A game that under Nick Saban, we're used to just seeing Alabama salted away and make for a very boring finish, and with his eyes on the crowd, making sure that nobody leaves early. But that's certainly not the case, with this year's Alabama team. They are not quite the same team, and not quite the same team defensively. Of course, Tennessee's passing offense started the season gangbusters, but they have really tailed off recently as well. The rushing game, almost 247 yards per game, 8th best in the nation. Overall on offense, the Vols, 483 yards is 10th best in the nation, but Alabama is 54th in the nation in yards allowed per game. These are not Alabama-type numbers, and rushing yards against, Alabama, 54th in the nation, allowing 129.2. Very un-Alabama-like numbers, but what's even worse is the Alabama pass defense, 65th in the nation in yards per game allowed, 213.3. Now, the Tennessee passing game has certainly cooled off since those early games, that NC State game, remember, when they just absolutely lit them up. But the thing is, still 60 in the nation, 236.5. But a lot of those numbers, and those averaging out, come from earlier in the year. The Bama offense, 37th in the nation, yards per game, 442, up against the 4th-ranked defense in the nation in Tennessee, 249.8 yards. Alabama is rushing the ball, but not as effectively as they have in the past. 179.2 yards per game sounds great on paper, but that's 51st in the nation, up against a Tennessee defense that allows 79.7 yards per game, 6th best in the nation. And against the pass, Tennessee, very, very solid in that area as well. 21st against the pass, allowing 170.2 yards per game, while Alabama, of course, the great wide receivers, and Williams, and of course Milroe, experienced quarterback, but still 38th in the nation in passing. I got to say, while Milroe has a 184.4 QB rating, 5th best in the nation, there are some serious problems here for the Tide. Interceptions, about 1 per game. Tennessee, not great ball hawking, but where Alabama is doing it, poorly on offense. They're fumbling the football away. In Tennessee, 19th best in the nation at recovering fumbles. When we look at the Tennessee defense, you know, they have been ball hawkers. When we look at when we look at, you know, the way that you know, that it's gotten done, I got to say, I think there's some big concerns here at Alabama, and there should be. I think Tennessee wins this game outright. I'm going to take Tennessee. We'll take the points just for the heck of it, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, putting your bets in, use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. 100% free, and they'll help put you on the most favorable bets on the board today.